This is a 1945 R-100 URR 3-band military radio. They call this the morale booster. And I guess there were several manufacturers that made these. Majestic, maybe Zenith. And I've been unable to identify who manufactured this one. It's not really important, the schematics on the inside. This radio picks up the standard broadcast band. I've had this radio for a few years. I got it in an estate sale. It's 100% all original. And I want to bring it back to life now. This is probably going to be one of a series of videos on this. Here's the inside. It's made to run on a whole variety of line voltages plus the standard 90 volt battery and filament battery. It's got 1.5 volt tubes and a 3 volt output tube. I believe they total 12 volts. Here's the chassis. The case is all metal. What's kind of cool is the schematic and parts list is on the board that the chassis sits on, so it's protected. It's got a couple big resistors here. The electrolytics say made by Mica Mold Radio Corporation. I don't know if that's who made it. Take a look at the underside. This thing is just filled with these domino package. I believe these are paper capacitors. These brown things like this. I believe those are paper, and I'm really hoping that I don't have to change them because this radio is all original. And it uses Lochtel tubes, 1.5 volt filament Lochtel tubes. So it uses 245 volts and then 6 volts, so it uses 12 volts and 90 volts. This tube was broken when I got the radio. I got the radio from an estate sale. I was able to find one of these on eBay. One of the actual Jan tubes. Made by Sylvania, and 1953. Okay, I'm gonna do something here that you guys rarely see me do, which is bring this up on a Variac and monitor the voltage and current. And I'm kind of low on time with the camera, so I'm gonna, well, I'm at about 60 volts, and I've got, this says 12 volts. I'm on the capacitor, and it just appears the filters are totally dead. If I go up a little higher, it's nothing but hum. So, oh, I saw this sticker. This was pretty entertaining. "1945 fungicidal lacquer." So, bummer. I bridged a couple of these electrolytics just across the bottom here, and I got good B plus now and very limited hum, but still no sign of life from the receiver. I'm going to try my battery eliminator, essentially running it on batteries, and see what I get. This is my battery eliminator. It converts 12 volts into either 90, 150, or 250. And you can hear the oscillator in it running. Runs at about 2 kilohertz. And the radio's alive. You can hear here, but there's just no front end or something. That's a volume control. So, yeah, unfortunately I have a feeling all of these capacitors are going to have to go. I really didn't want to get into changing all of these things. They're not a big deal to replace them, but I like to keep it looking as original as possible. So yeah, it's kind of a bummer. Guess I could feed an iPod into the audio output and pretend it works. I was just noticing this. I don't know if the camera will pick it up, but look at how this electrolytic is all bulged. Like something went on inside there. Look at how that's bulged up. I don't think I've ever seen anything like that before. It hasn't been crushed and expanded on the other side. It's just bulged at the top. Here's one quick trick I want to try to see if the oscillator's running in this radio. This is a little just crappy AM radio. I want to tune across the dial here and see if I hear anything, the oscillator from the tube radio. So I think it's pretty clear that the oscillator is running in this. You know, just have to start signal tracing from the IF back. There was some damage I noticed to this IF can right here, how it looks like it was bumped and bent. I don't know if it's, I don't know if something was shorted out inside. I guess that's a possibility, but it could also just be these capacitors. So we'll have to probably save this for another day. Just doing a little signal tracing here. I'm just using the iPod and feeding it in. You can hear how distorted. And then if I move up here straight into the audio amp, it sounds a lot better. And the gain is very low, so I'm really just thinking it's these caps right here. I guess I'll have to get those, go to the electronics store and get all those and stick the modern red crap in there. I really didn't want to do that. And also that anti-fungus stuff is almost impossible to solder to that they sprayed on here. I was looking at the parts list and you can see that a lot of these are 40% paper caps, those black dominoes. So they're just going to have to be changed. 40% plus 40% minus 10% paper. Some micas, they'll probably be okay if they're across a low voltage source in the IF or whatever. Check out the way the color code is in a little arrow so you know which way to read it. So this one's green, black, orange, so that would be a 0.05. And if we look at this one here, brown, black, orange, so that would be a 0.01. I think that's kind of cool how they brown, black, yellow, so that's a 0.1. I just cut a couple of these loose to verify how leaky they are, and they're gone. They're all shorted. Not shorted on an ohm meter shorted, but shorted on a capacitor tester leakage test. So I'll have to pick these up hopefully on Saturday and try and get back to this next week. So this will be part 1.